This gun lights your firemen, the pilot lights out.
This football team is coming into our place. We're standing in our way.
This is a game of the heart. Focus and finish.
Hey, no more secrets. The proverbial cat has been let out of the bag as Terrelle Pryor has been named the starter in Oakland. Hey look, I'm not going to totally poo-poo on this news because you may be able to catch some lightning in a bottle here. Pryor may rack up some rushing yards or make some plays throwing the ball as he threatens the line of scrimmage when he gets flushed out of the pocket running for his life, which is expected to be on nearly every play as the Raiders have one of the most porous offensive lines in recent memory. The Raiders play the Colts in Week 1. Expect Indy to be a popular defense this week. Blaine Gabbert did some light throwing in Monday's practice, but his thumb was wrapped and he didn't take any snaps from under center. So I'm guessing if they can get it to the point that he can say ready, set, hike and accept the ball, well, they can try to let him play. If he can't get medically cleared, Chad Henne will get the nod. Why am I spending your time listening to me talk about Blaine Gabbert? Well, Jaguars play the Chiefs in Week 1, and like the Colts, you should expect the Chiefs to be a popular defensive choice this week. And with the Jets replacing Graham Harrell with Brady Quinn yesterday rather than just releasing Harrell, you knew something was up because New York still has 4 quarterbacks on the roster, at least for the time being. It appears that Mark Sanchez's availability is now being tabulated in weeks and not days, leaving Geno Smith as the clear opening day starter. Hey, if it doesn't work out, Matt Sims will give it a whirl. And if he can't hack it, yeah, you guessed it, the job goes to Brady Quinn. So what are the fantasy prospects for Geno Smith? Well, I do know Dan Orlovsky likes him. Incidentally, the Jets opened up against Darrelle Revis and the Bucs in Week 1, and you guessed it, you can expect the Bucs defense to be a popular choice in Week 1 as well. On the flip side, it appears that the Jets quarterbacks will in fact have Santonio Holmes to throw the ball to Sunday, as everyone in the organization except Holmes seems to be pleased with his progress and on the same page, expecting him to be ready for opening day as he continues to recover from last year's season-ending foot surgery. Alright, sticking with the quarterback theme today, absent unforeseen injury, who's going to flourish in fantasy this season? Now, I'm not talking about Drew Brees, or Aaron Rodgers, or Peyton Manning, or Tom Brady. You already know those guys. So who's going to jump up to the upper echelon of fantasy quarterbacks that wasn't there before? Well, how about Michael Vick? Hey, don't laugh. This one comes down to simple math. Look, I have no idea if he can remain healthy. My guess is that he can't. He's just too small and susceptible to taking a pounding the way he gets exposed in space all the time. But for the time that he's in, I know this. Chip Kelly's fast-paced offense is fantasy-friendly. And the fact is that his offenses simply run more plays than other teams because they get plays off faster. More plays means more opportunity for completions, more passing yards, more rushing yards, and more touchdowns. The Eagles ran an average of 75 plays per game in the first 3 preseason games when the regulars were taking part. That's more than 10 plays above last season's league average. So if Vick gets to run 10 more plays per game, he gets a fantasy advantage of opportunity over other quarterbacks. Tony Romo's fantasy value always gets depressed because of his lack of postseason success and his propensity to miss the postseason altogether. He's the Armando Benitez of football. Remember when Benitez was the closer for the Mets? He was putting up 40 saves a year, but nobody wanted him because the perception was he couldn't close out a big game. Do I care if Romo throws for 400 yards and 3 touchdowns but can't punch it in on the final drive? No, just give me the stats. I have no idea if Romo's efforts will translate into wins for the Cowboys, but I don't care. He'll put up fantastic fantasy numbers. Coming off last season's success as a rookie, a lot of people are high on Russell Wilson's fantasy prospects this season, but I'm not really in that camp. While I think he has the intangibles and the skills to be a winning quarterback, I don't really think that'll translate into fantasy success. I'm also concerned with what I call the Michael Vick conundrum. And that's the ability to take a pounding at that size and shoot up for a full 16-game schedule. Really, if you can get through all 16 games, that's an accomplishment by itself at that size. So who do I think will flourish and excel? Well, Colin Kaepernick. To me, Kaepernick's size and skills combined with his ability to make good decisions makes him the best of all the hybrid quarterbacks. I expect Kaepernick to be an elite fantasy quarterback this season and have him ranked above his closest peers in terms of the style of his play, which are Cam Newton and RG3. With just 2 days till the NFL season starts, be sure to tune in to the Roto Experts Fantasy Football News, Notes, and Analysis segment every weekday. I'll be here to keep you current and ahead of the competition, and on weekends, come back for This Week in Fantasy Football as I team up with the King, Scott Engel, covering the week that was, the week that will be, and answering your viewer questions. For Roto Experts, I'm Mike Cardano. See you tomorrow.